Marisa Mariella, and welcome to My Easy Kitchen for Hamilton City Magazine. This is recipe number 2, so I hope you didn't miss the first one. This one is tocchetti di maiale alla pizzaiola. Okay, that was a mouthful. It's such an easy, uncomplicated recipe. I'm using pork tenderloin. It's going to be smothered with a luscious tomato sauce and onions and chopped with cheese. Perfect for any week night, but also special enough to serve guests on a weekend. So let's get busy. I have here beautiful pork tenderloin. You know, you really need to get to know your butcher, and then that way they can take care of you, you know? So pork tenderloin obviously is very lean. This is the part that you want to clean off. There's a little bit of a sheath here of the tendon, so I'm just going to use a very sharp knife and kind of stab it, or just, you know, work slowly with it, but you do want to remove that, because that could be very tender, or not tender. Actually, that's what will prevent it from being tender. See this right here? Just gonna stab it and run my knife through it, and I'm gonna remove it. I'm not gonna be like obsessive about it, you know, I'm just gonna do my best. And you can clean up a little bit of the rest of the fat here, but it's just so lean. It's gonna be delicious. Okay, I think that's good. See this little fat here? Okay, I can take that off. Some people say that that adds flavor. So how are we gonna cook this? So we're going to make, because it's so big, I think 5 portions. And I'm gonna cut it this way, down the length. So I have kind of like these columns of pork tenderloin, okay? So we're going to pound them, and some people, you know, don't like the splatter that happens with that. So I'm going to use a little Ziploc or a little plastic bag here, and I'll show you a trick to keep the splattering at a minimum. Okay, so I'm going to take it, and I'm going to put it in the bag face up, okay? So the cut end is faced up. Do you have one of these? If you don't, you can use one of these. This will work. Doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm going to pound this. We're making a little noise. There you go. That's the idea. You want to pound it so it's about maybe, I don't know, 2-3 centimeters. And I'm going to do the rest, and then I'll show you what the next step is. So I have my slices here. Thank you, Mario, for always taking good care of me when I'm shopping at the store at Nardini's. This is Ontario pork. When you're buying pork, look for Ontario pork, and you know that you can get that at Nardini's. Okay, I've got here freshly ground black pepper. You know, you can use the stuff from the store, but when you grind it up yourself, it really becomes much more pungent. And I've got sea salt. I like using that over the other kind of salt, the iodized salt. It just seems to have more flavor. It's not as salty. And I've got dried oregano from Italy. Oh, it smells so good. So I don't really get too particular about how I'm dressing this meat, because it's all going to be delicious. I'm going to quickly flip it over. In the meantime, my pan is on the stove. I like using a cast iron pan, but you don't have to. You can use any sort of pan. And it's getting nice and hot. And then we're ready to give this a quick sear. So if you want to keep this gluten-free, don't use any flour. If you like to use the flour, it just does thicken up the sauce a little bit. So, well, I'm going to keep it gluten-free. I don't think we need that. Okay, we are ready to go to the stove. All right, so my cast iron pan is banking hot. I'm gonna just put a little water, right? Drop of water, and you can hear it sizzling, so you know it's ready. Now's the time you add just a little drizzle of good quality extra virgin olive oil, and then in goes meat. Do you hear that? That's the sound you need to hear. That's a good sound. It's okay to crowd the pan a little bit. So while this is searing, I'm going to take a quick minute and chop up some onions. I've chopped up the onion. This has been going for maybe 2 minutes. You know it's ready to turn when the meat releases easily from the pan. See, it doesn't even stick. Look at that beautiful sear on that. That's flavor. This is gonna go another minute. Oh, I can smell those spices and herbs. Oh, so good. It's gonna go another minute, then I'll take them off and we'll cook up the onions. I think it's ready. It's not fully cooked yet, but we just want that sear for that flavor. And in the pan is that caramelization, and that's what's going to give the onions even more flavor. Let's add a little bit more olive oil, just a drizzle. Now let's get those onions. Okay, listen for the sound. There it is. So the onions have been cooking for about a minute. Gonna add just a little bit of salt, a little bit more black pepper, and we're going to deglaze the pan. That is perfect. So the alcohol has burned off now. It smells incredible right now. So this method of searing the meat, then adding the onions, a little bit of white wine, it's a great start to any dish. You could use chicken, even fish. I'm adding some jarred tomatoes. These are from Italy. And these beautiful tomatoes are sweet, low acid. I'm just using my masher to kind of crush them up. We're almost done. I'm gonna take that meat and we're going to nestle it back into this sauce. And it's gonna continue cooking in the oven for about 20 minutes or so. And in the last 5 minutes, we'll top it off with some cheese. Wait till you see what cheese I'm using. Okay, see this juice in the pan? Or in the plate? That goes in the pan. Okay, we're adding a little bit more salt to the sauce, a little bit more pepper, and a little bit more oregano. Okay, into the oven it goes. Make sure the oven is preheated at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Pop it into the oven center rack uncovered for about 15-20 minutes before you add the cheese. The cheese that I prefer for this dish is a fresh Asiago from Italy. It's not that dark skin or dark rind Asiago that most people are familiar with. This is the real deal. This is fresh Asiago from Italy. You could shred it if you like or grate it, but I like cutting it into chunks. And then I just add it right to the top. I can't even see where the meat is, but that's okay. I know it's in there somewhere. Okay, that's gonna cook for about another 10 minutes so the cheese melts. Bread is nicely toasted, and just before we plate everything up, I'd like to show you Italian garlic bread. So you saw what I did. I drizzled a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, grilled it on a hot pan, and then I take a clove of garlic and I just gently scrape it across the surface of the bread. That is Italian garlic bread. It tastes so delicious, and you don't get all those extra calories the way North Americans eat their garlic bread. Okay, I think we are ready. Let me just grate a little bit of Parmigiano. You know it's Parmigiano because on the rind it says Parmigiano Reggiano. So it doesn't come in that little cardboard box. And so I'm gonna grate some of that on top. Oh, it smells so good in here. How long did that take? No time at all. And let's get our greens. I've sauteed a little bit of fresh spinach, just with a little bit of olive oil and a little bit of salt and pepper. And a whole bunch of spinach cooks down to nothing. So let's see if I can fish out a nice steak here. Oh, here's one. This is a nice one. Look at that Asiago cheese there. We'll get a little bit more of the sauce. You know what you could also do is make up or boil up some pasta and then serve it with this sauce. Even for the next day, it would be so good. And we're gonna maybe cut this up. Maybe put it on the side, and I'll garnish with maybe a little bit of chives just to pick up on that onion flavor. Okay, dinner is ready. See what I mean? This is delicious for a weeknight, but isn't that elegant for guests? So call your family over, your friends. Make this dish. It's so simple, very uncomplicated, and very Italian. All right, I'm going to pour myself a little bit of white wine. I love white wine with pork. It's nice and crisp and fresh. Let's give this a little taste. It's piping hot, so I'm just gonna give it just a little bite. There we go. Oh, I can see the steam coming from it. Tender. That sauce is so delicious. You know what we do in Italy? We take the bread. It's called fare la scarpetta. When we're all done, we use the bread to sop up all that delicious sauce. I hope you make this for your family and friends. We'll see you next time on Marisa's Easy Kitchen for Hamilton City Magazine.
Marisa's Easy Kitchen is made possible with the support of Nardini's Specialties. You simply must come in for the Nardini's experience.